When Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA, the conversation wasn't just about basketball, it was about impact. Some believed she would change everything, others, not so much. From day one, every time the league broke attendance or viewership records, critics pushed back. They argued the growth was already happening, that it wasn't about one player. Even a team owner publicly suggested that instead of highlighting Clark alone, the entire league should have been recognized as a whole. But then came a different voice, Lexi Brown.
And it's not rocket science to see that since her arrival, the WNBA has skyrocketed. Act like it's not a coincidence. That's exactly what happened.
And that's where things get interesting, because while the debate continues, the numbers are starting to tell a very clear story. Let's start with the financial side. Before Clark entered the league, the average WNBA franchise was valued at around $96 million. Solid, but still trailing behind leagues like the NWSL. Fast forward to now, that number has exploded to roughly $427 million. That's not steady growth, that's acceleration. Take the Indiana Fever, Clark's team. Their valuation jumped from $335 million to $560 million in just a year. And then there's the Golden State Valkyries, an expansion franchise. They were valued at $500 million in their inaugural season. Now, a staggering $850 million. That's not normal growth. That's a surge. And it doesn't stop there. According to Sportico, the league now operates with a 13.6 value to revenue multiplier. That's higher than the NBA, the NFL, Formula One, and even some of the biggest global soccer clubs. So, the question becomes, is this still a coincidence? Or is there a catalyst? Lexi Brown believes the answer is obvious, but she also added something important. Clark's fans, many of them new to the league, weren't prepared for the physicality of the WNBA. It's tough on everyone, Brown explained, referencing her own experience. And yet, Clark adjusted quickly. She didn't just survive, she made her mark. That adjustment didn't just silence critics, it educated fans. It showed them what the WNBA really is. Fast, physical, elite-level basketball. And that shift in perception, that's just as valuable as the numbers. Because growth isn't only about revenue, it's about engagement, understanding, respect. And we're seeing all three. Of course, not everyone is convinced. Some still argue that the league's rise was inevitable, that history shows periods of growth before. And yes, that's fair. But here's what's different now: the speed, the scale, the visibility, and most importantly, the attention. Millions of new eyes are now on the league, and more are just joining in. And whether people want to admit it or not, a huge portion of that attention followed Caitlin Clark from college into the pros. We've seen similar effects in other leagues too. Look at Trinity Rodman and the rise of interest in the NWSL. Star power matters. It always has. The difference is, Clark's impact didn't just bring attention to just one team or one season. It sustained it. And now it's translating into real business growth. Franchise values are rising, revenue is climbing, and the league is positioning itself to do something unprecedented in women's sports. Break into the billion-dollar tier. That's no longer a distant dream. It's a near-future reality. So, where does that leave the debate? Maybe the answer lies somewhere in the middle. Yes, the WNBA was growing, but sometimes growth needs a spark, a moment, a player. And right now, all signs point to Caitlin Clark being exactly that. Not the only reason, but a major one. Because when the numbers align with the narrative, it's no longer hype, it's impact.